The next organelle is the chloroplast. So chloroplast is called as, what do we call the chloroplast as? Mitochondria we call it as the powerhouse of the cell. Similarly, the chloroplast is called as, it's called as, it's called as kitchen of the cell. It's called as the kitchen of the cell. That is because it prepares the food. Right? Where is the food prepared? Kitchen of the cell. So chloroplast is a green plastic. It is a green plastic which contains the containing chlorophyll, which contains the chlorophyll, and usually it is oval or discoid shape. It is usually oval or discoid shape. So this was first observed by, or this organelle was first observed by it was first observed by anyone? Mohl. It was first observed by Mohl. Von Mohl anta scientist. So he observed it for the first time. Okay. Then this organelle is containing the chloroplast. Okay. It is containing the chlorophyll pigment, and due to the presence of the chlorophyll pigment, it is capable of conducting the photosynthesis process. The chloroplast contains the chlorophyll, and because of which it is capable of conducting the photosynthesis process in it. Because of the photosynthesis process, because of the specialized process called as photosynthesis happening in this chloroplast, the chloroplast is been designed in a very well defined way. So chloroplast and mitochondria are two organelles in the cell which are very well defined. So which are being formed by the cell in a very brilliant manner. Okay. So if you see the structure of the chloroplast, the chloroplast is also a double membrane structure. It is also a double membrane structure. So we have one outer membrane. Outer membrane is a lipid bilayer membrane. Outer membrane. So it is a lipid bilayer membrane. And this outer membrane also contains certain porins. Like there were porins on the outer membrane of the mitochondria, similarly, the outer membrane of the chloroplast also contains certain porins for the movement of the biomolecules. Okay? And because of the presence of the porins, we call this membrane as permeable membrane. We call the membrane as the permeable membrane, and this particular membrane will also have certain types of enzymes present on it. The outer membrane of the chloroplast is also known to contain certain enzymes like nitrate reductases and etc. Okay. Then coming to the inner membrane, inner membrane, it's getting covered. Huh? Inner membrane. Inner membrane, this is selectively permeable membrane. Inner membrane is selectively permeable membrane. This is selectively because it will allow only the movement of certain biomolecules and certain ions ಮಾತ್ರ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. For example, ಇಲ್ಲಿ glucose produce ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Right? Carbohydrate will get produced in the chloroplast. After the photosynthesis, glucose produce ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ತಾನೆ. So that glucose has to move out of the cell and should go to the mitochondria for the respiration, for the cytoplasm and mitochondria for the respiration. Yes, glycolysis which what is the substrate for the glycolysis? The substrate for the glycolysis is glucose only. ನಮಗೆ ಆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? That glucose has to come from here, no? From the chloroplast it has to come out. So if it has to come out, how will it come out? Right? So it is coming out through certain transmembrane proteins which are present. So through certain transmembrane proteins are present on the inner membrane to transport the glucose or the carbohydrates produced by the photosynthesis. Then, so this inner membrane is known to have one particular enzyme called as translocase. It is known to have the enzyme translocase. This translocase will actually help in the translocation of the biomolecules through the transmembrane proteins. Transmembrane proteins mukantara carbohydrate pass agbeku antandre we require one particular enzyme called as translocase. This translocase enzyme will pick up the biomolecule and it will help the movement of those biomolecules in and out of the chloroplast. Okay? And this is also made up of lipid bilayer. This is also made up of the lipid bilayer. Then coming to the inner part of the chloroplast. So we call the matrix which is present in the chloroplast as the stroma. So this is all the stroma. Okay. So what all is present in the stroma? In the stroma, there are certain flat disc-shaped structures or oval-shaped structures present. What are these structures called as? These flat disc-shaped structures or oval-shaped structures are called as? One single is called as thylakoid. One single structure is called as thylakoid. Many thylakoids together is called as grana. It is called as grana or granum. It is called as granum. Many granums together is called as grana. Okay. So one single structure is called as thylakoid. Many thylakoids together is called as a granum. Many granums are called as grana. One granum is connected to another granum. One granum is connected to another granum through a connectivity which is called as stroma lamellae. So one granum is connected to another granum through this connection called as stroma lamellae. Through the stroma lamellae. Now if you just take one single thylakoid, okay, if you just take one single thylakoid, how exactly the thylakoid is present? So this is the structure of the thylakoid and this is the lumen. Okay, we call this as a lumen, which is an empty space, and this is the membrane of the thylakoid. We'll just take a lumen a bit bigger. Membrane of the thylakoid and the lumen of the thylakoid. Now, what exactly is the importance of this thylakoid? In the thylakoid, light reaction takes place. Remember, the important things which you have to remember about the chloroplast is one is the thylakoid, another one is the stroma. Okay, one is thylakoid, another one is the stroma. So what all is happening here in the thylakoid is, in the thylakoid, light reaction takes place. Light reaction takes place. For the light reaction to take place, what is required? We require photosystem 1, photosystem 2. Yes, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 are being required. Both photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 are present on the membrane of the thylakoids. They are present on the membrane of the thylakoids. Apart from this, what we require? We require chlorophyll pigment. That chlorophyll pigment is present here in the lumen. Chlorophyll is present in the lumen. So this is lumen and this is membrane of the chloroplast. Okay. Apart from this, that is PS1, PS2. Apart from these two, there are also ferredoxin. Okay, there are also ferredoxin. There are also plastoquinones present on the membrane of the thylakoids. Photosynthesis ಆಗಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? Photosynthesis ನೆನಪಿದೆ ತಾನೆ ಹೆಂಗಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಲೈಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟೋಕ್ವಿನಾನ್, ಫೆರಿಡಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್, ನಾನ್ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಎರಡು ಓದ್ತಿರ ತಾನೆ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಾನ್ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಥೈಲಕಾಯ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆನೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಥೈಲಕಾಯ್ಡ್. ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾ, ಎಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Dark reaction will take place in the stroma. So enzymes which are required for the dark reaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ actually the main phenomena what is happening in the dark reaction is Kelvin cycle. ಹೌದು ತಾನೆ? ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಸೈಕಲ್. ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ? ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸಿ ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಮೇಜರ್ಲಿ. ಇದಿಷ್ಟೇ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ರೆ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ವಿನ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ? ಆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, apart from this ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ we also have DNA, we also have ribosomes, right? We also have DNA and ribosomes. We have DNA and the ribosomes present on the chloroplast. So now what is the function of this DNA and the ribosomes in the chloroplast antandre? They usually will synthesize the proteins or the enzymes which are continuously required for the chloroplast. For example, enzyme which is continuously required in the photosynthesis process, Rubisco, right? Rubisco enzyme. Like we have succinate dehydrogenase in the mitochondria, we have Rubisco here in the chloroplast. Okay, clear? So this is about the structure of the chloroplast. Noida. So marker enzymes of the chloroplast. The major marker enzyme is The major marker enzyme is the Rubisco. Okay, the major marker enzyme is the Rubisco for the chloroplast. However, apart from the Rubisco, we also have other marker enzymes. The other marker enzymes are, one is NADP reductase, one is NADP reductase, another one is PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate, okay, C4. So, phosphoenol pyruvate. So, this is another alternate marker enzyme. And then we have photosystem 2. Photosystem 2 is also one of the marker enzymes for the chloroplast. And apart from that, we have ATP synthase. ATP synthase. Now, this ATP synthase will also have same F0 and F1 only. Okay, this ATP synthase will also have the same F0 and F1, but remember, if in the question paper, if they are referring to the F0, F1 of the chloroplast, okay, if they are asking any question on the chloroplast F0, F1, then they'll mention it this way, CF0 and CF1. If they have mentioned it as CF0 and CF1, then they are speaking about the ATP synthase or F0F1 particle of the chloroplast. Okay, so these are the marker enzymes of the chloroplast. Okay, yes.